What's going on, guys? Lock and Load Airsoft here, and today I'm going to be unboxing and installing the 9-ball piston O-ring to my gun. I'm sure these can fit Tokyo Marui pistols and WE pistols. I think that there's another brand. I'll leave it now. I'll tell you on the very top left of all the brands. Anyway, we're going to be opening this package, which should have my piston O-ring in. So I just want to be careful because my address and all that is on the other side. It's not my address. Alright, so it's just here. Okay, so that's the 9-ball piston O-ring. So I'll show it to you in the packaging. So this aluminum, well, anodized aluminum pistol O-ring made by 9-ball. These do a lot of upgraded components for the high cap of 5.1, 4.3. It says them all here, so yeah. So yeah, that's packaging. So I'm going to do, we're going to open this and then we can take a better look. I don't think it's stapled in or anything. It literally, oh yeah, it is. Right, there we go. Okay, so here are all the parts. So this is your piston O-ring. So this anodized aluminum compared to the plastic one. And basically how it's going to work is air is going to be pushed through these holes, expanding this O-ring. And that's what makes it really gas efficient. And it's going to give you a lot better power, which means more accuracy. So yeah. Also, the package includes a spring. I did not. People have been saying not to put this on, so I'm not going to. But if you wish to, then yeah, go and research it. That's not a part. And then here we've got a screw, and I'm guessing that's to hold in the O-ring. And you've got another rubber gasket seal, I guess. So yeah, we're not going to be using any of that. We're just going to be using the stock one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my gun and I'm going to be following this guy's video. I'll leave a link down below to his video, and he does a really good explanation on how to do this, but on a different gun. He's doing it on Tokyo Marui, I think, but they're literally the exact same gun, but just different makes. So first of all, make sure your mag's out, which mine is, and then you're gonna bring your 1911 pistol back, and there's a little hole here, and then there's your slide stay. You're gonna bring it to that tiny little one and press in the pin, which will just make it fall out like that. Put that aside, crop forward gun, and there you go. You got the upper slide and the bottom receiver. That is really good for maintaining your gun on oiling it up. So I'm just going to put that aside so I don't lose it. And first of all, what we're going to be doing is taking off the recoil spring. So I'll do that now. So there's that out. Yeah, so I'll just put that to one side. I'm just going to collect the other parts. They went flying. Right, there we go. We got the other bits. So next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sliding up our hop-up system, sliding out our hop-up system and our barrel out of the gun. So this is the great thing about 1911s. They're so easy to field strip. Literally anyone can do it with a bit of experience. So if we look here and you see that O-ring there, I don't know, it might be very hard to see, but yeah, just where my fingernail is, that's what we're going to be changing. So, what we're going to do is we need to take out this Allen key here, and on the real 1911 that has the firing pin would obviously hit the bullet shell. So I'm not sure what size Allen key it is, so bear with me while I get the right size. I'm sure it's this size, or it might be a size down from it. These are usually really small Allen keys are used on airsoft guns. Yeah, this is the right one. So we're just going to loosen it off. Probably won't be too tight, and if I was you, I'll hold the gun upside down and be careful and just slowly undo this screw. So yeah, hopefully we're going to be having like more videos coming out. I was going to make a video at Red One Airsoft Skirmish, but sadly my action camera broke. The zoom in button has broken. It's glitched out to where it just keeps zooming in as soon as I go on the footage, like start recording. So all the footage what I collected was complete trash throughout the whole day, which was really annoying. So I'm just going to invest my money, and I guess I'm just going to have to get a GoPro. So what I would use is I would use the bag what comes with a package, just to put all your screws and that in, so then they're safe and they can't be lost. Yo, what's going on, guys? After some messing around, I finally got the gas assembly to come out. I'll show you what I had to do. So basically what I had to do was I undone that screw at the back there, and then here there'll be a flathead screw like this and a spring sitting there. You undo that, and then there'll just be a screw sitting there. You undo that and it all just comes flying out. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go and get some tissue, and I'm going to clear up everything, like all the parts, so it's easier to work on. And then this will all be re-oiled before it goes back in the gun. Yeah, so this will literally, as soon as you undo that screw, it just drops straight out. Which was a bit annoying, because that shows that it's not like the Tokyo Marui gun, because all you do is you undo that back screw and it just comes flying out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them screws there, and we need to take, there's a screw here, you need to take that out, and that will, now you can, like, you can pull off this. So what you have to do is you pull it here, tilt, it should just come straight out. And then here you just got a crosshead screwdriver, and that's the actual part what we're going to be changing. So I'm just going to undo that like so, and you don't need to be careful here, there shouldn't be any nasty surprises. It's literally just undoing that screw. So you want to pop that out, pop out the old piston O-ring. So there it is. Now we're going to be installing the 9-ball piston O-ring. I'll be right back to you. I'm just going to look up what way the piston O-ring goes, because one side it's got holes and one side it hasn't. So yeah, I'll be right back. Right, okay guys, I'm back. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the piston O-ring, and I would advise before you install it just getting some oil and lubing up the O-ring, because at the moment, I mean, I've got a perfect direct view of it, so why would it not be better than to chuck a load of silicone oil on it now, rather than doing it when it's in the gun and you can't get to every nook and cranny of it. So that'll just help it get a better seal. So yeah, that just puts straight in, and then you're gonna get the screw what you took out, and you're gonna place that in the middle of the O-ring like so, and then you're just gonna do it up, and I wouldn't do it too tight and I wouldn't do it too loose either. So like, just get it to a point where it's resisting against you, and then just give it maybe like half a turn. Don't do it too tight in case you strip the whole bolt, and that would not be good. Trust me, that would not be good. So I reckon, yeah. So now that we've done that, hang on a second guys, I'm gonna try and install the screw what the piston comes with, because this screw, it sticks out quite a bit, but the guy in the video doesn't show installing it, but I think it might be worth me installing it. So So I'm just going to try my very best and open this. Okay, hang on, in. Come on. Right, okay. Okay, got the screw now, guys, and I'm going to install this one and see if it sits more flush to the O-ring. And it's looking like it is going to. It does screw in, just like the other screw. Yeah, it screws in just the same, and it is, in fact, sitting a lot more flush. But if I was you guys, I would not lose the other screw, just in case, you know. You never know what's going to happen. The screw might be useless and no good. So what I'm going to do now is install back in the piston sleeve. This can be difficult, so bear with me. There we go. There we go, that's back in, and it should still be able to freely move, but maybe with a bit more resistance. So I'll be right back to you guys. I'm just going to have a look at the video on how he installs it back into the gun. Alright guys, so now we're going to be reversing the steps. So what you want to do is, now you need to get the spring and you want to put it back in this section here. So you want to make sure the more coiled end, this end, not this end, they're different. The more coiled end goes into this pin, not towards the front, so it goes towards the back of the housing. This might be a stress and a pain for you guys, but luckily my one was very simple and it just slotted in nice and easily. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil up this actual unit, so hopefully it'll fit better in the gun. So I'm just going to spread it with my fingers. I don't really care. My fingers are already mucky enough, so it's probably too late to go back. Simply like that. So now that's all oiled up, we're going to turn around the slide and we're going to start putting everything back in, which is actually really exciting because hopefully this does work and I haven't just messed up my whole gun. So yeah, you want to be really careful about this spring, and you probably want to do it this side up. So this step is actually really hard for me to show you guys, but it does literally just slot into place. There we go. Now it's all slotted into place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up this part. To get to it, you literally just undo that, because I didn't show you that, guys, and I'm really sorry for not showing you. You're going to get this tiny, tiny little screw, and it goes into the very front screw port. And you're just going to do that up with your crosshead screwdriver. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your finger on the actual plastic piston. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, you want to, you know what I mean, this part. You want to make sure that you keep your finger on that, because at the moment it could just easily fall straight back out. And I would do this up quite heavily, because you've got to remember this gun is going to be thrown about quite a lot. I mean, yeah, because obviously it's gas blowback, it's going to be taking a lot of vibrations. And then you can see here there's a little slot there in between the two screws, and that's where you want to put this little spring. So I'm going to place that in now. It might be fairly difficult because now my hands are starting to get really greasy. So now that you've done that, I'm just going to make sure that it's in perfect position. Okay, that wasn't in properly, thank God. And it will have a very small dip compared to the other side. So Now you want to bring that down. I'll bring it down slowly. Won't try anything. And you want to hold your finger here, because obviously that screw is how you adjust your rear sight. Then you want to get this big flatheads screw here, and that wants to just go in that slot right here. You can see it, guys. So you're going to hold that down with one finger, and it's such a big screw. I mean, you don't need the right size. You can just use a tiny little screwdriver. So yeah, I'm really sorry that I didn't show you that step when I was taking it apart, but you can see how I done it. I just literally reversed a step. So once I undone that, I done this part here, and it just dropped straight out. You don't need to move this unit here for it to come out. It literally just comes out by itself. So yeah, you can feel there's a lot more resistance, but still enough to make it move. Like there's enough. There's like the perfect amount basically, but still keep all your original parts in case anything, God forbid, does go wrong. Next, what I'm going to do is this plastic housing. I didn't show you this either, but yeah, this will just be in there, just sitting in that part there. So you're just going to place that in the right way round, so the side with a sort of step on it will go towards the new O-ring. So that will just simply be placed in and done up with a screwdriver. I would get this reasonably tight as well, but you got to remember it's only plastic, so don't really wrench it at all. And lube that up. This really is key that you have at least like a bit of lube in there, like some silicone gun oil, just to make sure that everything is all ready and roaring to go again, because your gun does need lubrication for it to work properly. Next, what we're going to do is I'm just going to have a look in the packaging, because all the screws are in here. And that back screw, what I said on the real 1911, the firing pin is, you're going to place that into that hole just in there. This is my first actual like strip of this gun. So yeah, I was really nervous about taking it all apart and doing this video for you guys, but it's going to be worth it. I mean, increased gas efficiency, I mean better velocity, I mean yeah, how could it get any better? Yeah, so this screw will just screw straight back in. Some people might have a flathead here. I'm sure it's usually just an Allen key. So I'm just going to twist the actual upper slide until this tightens. It should soon. Yeah, we're almost there. Stuff gets really difficult now because your hands are super greasy. I wouldn't advise touching like a white mouse like this. You can see I've already put all black grease marks over it, so that'll obviously just need. It should be very simple to get off. It's not like any sort of car oil or anything where it's really difficult to come off. I mean, it's silicone oil. It's just like WD-40 really, but I would never advise using WD-40 in your gun. I would always advise you to use the proper silicone oil, because WD might not be as like pure. So yeah, now that that's on, that's working perfectly fine. So a recap, we've done up that screw and we put all this front housing back together. So now it's actually time to start putting the guts of the gun back, which will be, first of all, we'll get the barrel and the hop-up system. You can buy a part to improve your accuracy, but a new barrel, yeah. Anyway, this slides from the front, so basically all the steps are just like reversed. So yeah, that'll go on first, and then now you're going to want to get your recoil spring, and this simply, it goes in Actually, no it don't. We need to put this part back in, first of all. Like that. And then this should slot straight back in. You might have to pull this back and get it to a point there where it's like against the slide, and then push it through, because otherwise it's really difficult to feed back in. Like, but yeah, this is obviously quite a fiddle. It wouldn't be if I wore gloves and it didn't have greasy hands, but being as I do, it makes it really difficult to get back in. So there's a section on the bottom of this, I don't know what it's called, this piston stay, I don't know what it's called, slide stay, and that just like, make sure that you keep that straight and it will just simply slot back in. So that part. So I'm just going to keep trying at this. I mean, it is difficult. There we go. So yeah, now that that's in, you're just going to twist this unit until it comes straight, and I'll be careful with your fingers because I can imagine this would hurt quite a bit. There you go, it just clipped back in. So yeah, that's actually everything put back on the gun. So now what I'd advise you doing is I would pull back this unit here. I'd drop a few drops of silicone, or if you've got spray, doesn't matter, drop that there. You want to drop a bit on here, and then also try and get some in there. So what I might do, yeah, so there we go, I'll put some more silicone in there. And now we're gonna reassemble the gun. So when you field strip it, most of you pistol owners should be really familiar with this. I mean, everyone should be able to do this before they get themselves a gun, and make sure that you researched it, because without oil your gun is never gonna work as well, never gonna be as smooth. So yeah, that's the gun all put back together. So what I'll do now is I'll show you a firing test of the gun. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, we're here. We got 26 rounds in the magazine. We got a full magazine of gas. I had to buy a new magazine, that's why I wasn't getting through all the shots like in the review, because of this seal. It was just messed up. It wasn't leaking, it was just not getting through it. So yes, we got the 9-ball piston O-ring installed, and we're putting it on the WeTech 5.1 series M1911. So if you just so yeah guys, that's a full magazine. Right, thanks for watching.